Fairleigh Dickinson University in New Jersey did a poll, public mind poll, to find out how much people in New Jersey knew about the news, both international and domestic, and what they knew depending on which outlets that they were watching or reading, right? And we find out that some of the outlets did really well and some did not do as well. So two things they tested internationally is, did you know that Mubarak was overthrown in Egypt? And did you know that Assad has not been overthrown in Syria, right? Overall, people did all right, even people who watched no news, but they did much better depending on the outlet, right? So, for example, if you watch the Sunday news shows, you knew that that Mubarak got overthrown in Egypt 16 points more than someone who watched no news at all. And you knew the Syria news accurately 8 points more than people who watched no news. So Sunday news shows are doing well. NPR, the audience knew 11 points more likely to know the outcome of the Syrian situation than someone who watched no news, so NPR doing really well. And in fact, New York Times and USA Today both did really well, 12 points more likely to know than if they don't read the news at all, right? But there was one group that did particularly bad, Fox News viewers. When asked about the Egyptian situation, the Fox News viewers were 18 points less likely to know than someone who hadn't read the news at all, okay? So they had the exact wrong information. On Syria, it wasn't 18 points, it was 6 points. They were, again, misinformed, 6 points less likely to know the real story in Syria if you watch Fox News. Those are some bad numbers for Fox News. Now, when you turn to domestic side, Fox News didn't do much better when they asked about the Republican candidates and who was leading. Now, that's what Fox News does. They cover the Republican side. They have those candidates on all the time. And despite that, they did no better than people who had seen no news at all, okay, their audience. But now, some did worse, actually. If you were watching, and some did better. So Fox is neutral on that. MSNBC, if you're watching that, you were 10 points more likely to know who was leading the Republican race. So they, interestingly, do better in getting you correct information about the Republican race than Fox News does. And then the Sunday morning shows did well again. But actually, the group that did the best were listeners of right-wing talk radio. They were 17 points more likely to say that Herman Cain was at the top, and he was at the time that they were taking that poll. So give credit where credit is due to right-wing talk radio, at least on that point of information. Now, when they turned to the Occupy Wall Street movement, we also had some surprising results. If you watched MSNBC, you were actually 10 points more likely to misidentify the Occupy Wall Street movement as being Republican rather than Democratic. That's weird. That's outright bizarre. I don't know why that happened, but apparently that's the impression that MSNBC is giving for whatever reason. And NPR did well again. Their viewers were more likely to correctly identify the Occupy Wall Street movement as being more progressive. Now, you want to know the show that was #1 in most educated viewers on that topic? The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. So, in the end, on domestic issues, The Daily Show does the best. On international stories, Fox News does the absolute worst. And it's, you know, it's well, it's not appropriate. Ironic, it's appropriate. It's as appropriate as it gets, because remember, Jon Stewart had said that Fox News viewers are consistently misinformed. And there was a story that we covered from a fact-checking organization, PolitiFact, where they said, well, that's not entirely true, because there's some polls where Fox News viewers do okay, etc. And here comes a poll showing, in fact, Daily Show viewers know the best, and Fox News viewers, as Jon Stewart had suspected and quoted other polls, do the worst.